Hey everyone, I'm Valerie from wakingupinwonder.com, and today I wanted to spend a couple minutes giving you a brief introduction to a concept from acceptance and commitment therapy called diffusion. Diffusion is really helpful when you are really caught up in your thoughts or you're really cycling on a particular thought that's just really not that helpful to you. Maybe when you focus on it, it just doesn't take you in the direction of the life that you want to live. And one of the things that's important about diffusion is you can use it with any kind of thought that is really not helpful. So some people will make the argument that, well, I am overweight, and so it makes sense that I'm obsessing about this thought because it's true. I'll step on a scale and I'll show you. And truthfully, it doesn't matter, because if you're focusing on that thought of I'm overweight, and it leads to those other thoughts of, I'm a piece of crap or I'm worthless, what do you think that person is going to do? They're probably not going to go and work out. They're probably going to feel miserable and want to eat or sit around. So ultimately, that thought is not helpful. And in some types of therapy, there's a lot of focus on changing the thought or thought stopping or switching it over to a positive affirmation. And in situations where that works for you, by all means, do it. But a lot of times it just really feels impossible for us to just make those thoughts stop or to just flip them around to something positive. It just feels like we're faking it. So that's where diffusion can really come in. And it really reminds us to focus on the fact that it's just a thought. It's not about trivializing your pain or your emotions, but just really remembering that that thought does not have to dictate your behavior, your choices. It does not have to hold power over you, because it's ultimately just a string of words in your mind. And so when you find yourself having an unhelpful or unworkable thought, as they say in ACT, one thing that you can do, and it's very simple, is just say to yourself, okay, I'm having the thought that I'm really stupid right now. And you can even take it a step further and say, I notice that I'm having the thought that I'm really stupid right now. So what that does is it gives you just a little bit of separation, a little bit of distance between you and the thought is no longer 100% your reality. ACT has a lot of other interesting techniques for defusing from thoughts. One is turning it into a song, or imagine that thought in your mind as either a silly song like the Macarena or Happy Birthday, or even said by a cartoon character or some other character like Yoda or Daffy Duck. So again, once you kind of put that thought into that context, it can seem a little ridiculous, and it reminds you that the thought does not have to hold power over you. So there's a lot of other great ways to practice diffusion, and like with anything else, it does not work unless you practice it regularly. So this book here, The Happiness Trap by Russ Harris, has a lot of great ideas, and it's a very easy, quick, accessible read. So I highly recommend that for anyone interested in ACT. And there's a lot of other great ACT books out there and workbooks for self-help, and there's therapists out there using ACT as a method. I just find that it really cuts through the BS and is very realistic and helpful. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and talk to you soon.